Hey there guys, it's DMO73 with the next part of my Moon Priestess Returns set review. Today we're talking about water, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. The ruler for this set is Moon, Princess of Stellar Wars. Her J-Activate is pay 2 colorless and then X. And you can only pay Moon Will, that's the new kind of will, on X. So in order to activate her, that's what you have to do, and she's a human. So that X is pretty important because it has to deal with her other side, Kavya the Immortal Princess. Her attack and defense is pretty weird, 400 attack, 1000 defense, but she has flying and she's imperishable, so you can keep bringing her back just like you would with Dracula. And then her enter ability is search your main deck for X treasury item cards and put them into your field. X is the number of Moon Will you paid to play her. So if you pay 3, then you're going to get to bring out 3 treasury cards, put them into your field, immediately making her a 1600 1000 because, immediately making her, a 1000 because her continuous ability is this card gains plus 200 0 for each treasury item you control. And then banish 3 treasury items, gain control of target resonator. So you can steal stuff, you can get a huge monster, and she can keep coming back over and over and over again. So pretty interesting. It's definitely very different from Kavya from set 1, but we'll have to see what she can be used for. Then we have the Campanella, the Milky Way Moon, the first of the 2 supers. Fairy Tale Fantasy, 2-drop, 200, enter, search your main deck for a Water Moon card and put it into your field, then shuffle your main deck. And then this card gains plus 200 as long as you control a moon. So this is not like, you can't grab like Lucru the Blue Moon or something like that. It has to be specifically like, I'm sure there's going to be others, but like Pale Moon. Ta-da! Put it into your field, and then shuffle your main deck. As you said, this card gains plus 200 as you control the moon, and when a resonator is put into your graveyard from the field, you can banish her, return that resonator back to its hand. So she can save your other creatures that are destroyed. So she kind of becomes, your opponent has to deal with her, or risk having to deal with that creature that they want to destroy coming back. So that's pretty interesting. We have Dark Shining Swordsman, 3-drop, 6/6, Were-Rabbit Resonator. Activate, pay 2 will, target Resonator's printed attack becomes 0. The fact that you can just turn off a Resonator's attack for a turn is ridiculous. Or make it so that a small, tiny blocker can essentially block the biggest creature they have for free. I think that's gonna be pretty cool, and it's definitely going to be a pretty staple in any kind of Kavya Were-Rabbit deck. We've talked about this lady before, Etna the Snow Queen. Her awakening is pay X, where X is any number of extra will, and you rest that many target resonators that then can recover as long as Etna's still on board. She's 3-drop, Fairy Tale, 7/7. This is going to be a really, really, really cool card, I think, for any deck running Grim, because it makes it so you don't necessarily have to play Hamlin's Pied Piper, or you can substitute in 1 or 2 Pied Pipers for Etna to do like a massive board lock all at once if you need to kind of swing from behind. I think this could be a really good card for that. And then whenever this card deals damage to your opponent, they discard a card. So also get to whittle away your opponent's resources that way. So pretty cool. I really like that a lot. Then we have Joyful Birdcatcher. Pretty simple 1-drop human 2/2. Pay 1 blue and tap it. Search your main deck for a bird. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your main deck. I don't really know necessarily how good that is. I guess hopefully we'll see more bird resonators come out in the future, but I mean it's a tutor for birds, I guess, so we'll just have to see what comes out of that. I'm not terribly interested in that right now. Kai the Frozen Heart, we talked about him before. Fairy Tale Human, 3 white. Enter ability, put 3 frozen counters on this card. Keep in mind though that if you can get him onto board without triggering the frozen enter ability, then that's nothing to worry about, because this card can't attack or block as long as it has frozen counters on it. So if you can get rid of those counters really fast, suddenly you have a 3-drop 1200. And then whenever something is put into a graveyard from your field, then you can remove it. So he kind of has a natural way to get better, but there are definitely some ways to cheat around him, his enter ability, to make use of him faster. Then we have the bird that we have right now, Water Resonator Moonglow Bird. 2-drop, 3/3 with flying, and then provided you control a moon, it becomes a 7/7. So that is pretty good. You just have to make sure that you control a moon. Again, it's flying, so it kind of goes along with the were-rabbits. A lot of them have flying. But I think this is just going to be a card that's not going to see a ton of play, or someone's going to come up with something really ridiculous for it and make it super awesome. We'll just have to see. Then we have the new 1-drop blue, Pilot of Universe. 1-drop 3/3, pay a will, and a moon will, and this card gains flying. So a little 1-drop flying to help water get some additional damage in if it needs to. And plus, again, with more moons, pale moons, it can become even bigger. So this card has a tendency to be dropped early and then get really big later. So not amazing, but I mean, it's better than nothing. Then we have Yang, a Mage of Decrescent. 2-drop, Were-Rabbit 4/4 with flying, as all Were-Rabbits do. Pay a Moonwill, this card gains 400 attack until the end of the turn. So it can become an 800, 400 with flying by paying a Moonwill. Pretty standard. It's going to be just a, bit of a, I guess, a beat stick, I guess. Just more Were-Rabbits to be able to make use of, rather than some of the other Were-Rabbits that weren't so great. And then we have Yin, the Mage of Increscent, Were-Rabbit 2/2. 2-drop, 4/4 with flying. Pay a moon, this card gains 400 defense until the end of the turn. So Yin and Yang kind of play off each other. Yin is more of the defensive one, and Yang's more of the aggressive one. And used in conjunction, I guess they could be useful, but again, I don't necessarily see the use of them right off the bat, other than just being more Were-Rabbits for Kavya decks. Fallen Comet is a spell chant. Moving on to the spells. 4-drop. All rested Resonators return to their opponent's hands, then rest everyone that your opponent controls. So, here's what I'm thinking. We play this one turn, lock everything down. We play this the next turn, bounce everything back to your opponent's hand in one fell swoop. And whatever they manage to play after that also gets rested. Free swings. So yeah, Etna, Fallen Comet seems like a pretty good combo, but we'll just have to see what other things people can come up with for Fallen Comet to make use of it. Then we have Glimpse of Kavya. Cancel target activate ability and draw a card. This is nuts because we haven't had anything that kind of cancels those abilities. This can also cancel stuff from rulers or anything else. So I think, shut down a Grim Search. So pay 1, discard a card. Cool, cancel it. Now you've just gone minus, and I get to go plus. To be honest, this is like my favorite card from Water. Just because a lot of decks are spamming activate abilities right now. So this is going to be something that I'm definitely going to hunt after a lot of. Because it's going to be pretty good for now and the foreseeable future. So this is a really good kind of card you want to chase after, I think. Shooting Star, 2 blue, spell chant instant. Change the target of a normal spell with a single target. So you play, again, this is kind of like Water's way to get away from green. So like you let their Stoning to Death get played, targeting one of your creatures. You play Shooting Star and make it target one of their own creatures. So then they just not only wasted 2 mana for Stoning to Death, but they also just killed one of their own cards. It gets blue from being able to not have to play green in order to defend itself. So I think this is another card that's going to be pretty important. Total Eclipse, 2-drop, spell chant standby. You have to control a moon. But then what it does is non-Were-Rabbit Resonators gain -500, and Were-Rabbit Resonators gain +500. So I think of this as kind of the end game card for Were-Rabbit decks. You play this, you wait until you're ready to swing in, give all your Were-Rabbits an extra 500, everything has flying, your opponent doesn't, and you just just destroy everything. That's really all I can say about it, I think. And also I guess can be used for like a defensive measure. If you think your opponent's going to swing in to win the game, you just let it go ahead and trigger, save yourself all that extra damage, and keep yourself alive for a turn. Think about it if you had 2 of these. That'd be great. Like, use one for defense and one for offense the immediate next turn. Just, so good. Then moving on to the additions, we have the Elixir of Immortality, a 1-drop water addition. Prevents all battle damage that would be dealt to or dealt by added Resonator. Essentially, you just make that creature completely worthless. So it can't deal any damage, but it also can't be dealt any damage. Like, play it on a Mephistopheles, take your 500, and then just watch your opponent squirm while they have to deal with a card that can't do anything, can't be killed by anything in terms of damage, and also continually sacrifices one of their monsters every turn. Like, this is Water's, like, I think, to be honest, this is like Water's spot removal, and I think this is going to be a really interesting card to see some play, especially with, like, green-blue decks, with, like, Spell Chant instant speed for Resonators with Sinbad. So yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. Milky Way! This card is so garbage. It's the only card I'm going to pretty much say is complete total garbage. Unless someone can break it, and I would love to see someone break this, but I don't understand how it would be. Water. 1-drop draw card. And Resonators your opponent controls can't be targeted by spells or abilities. Give all your opponent's cards hexproof. Or Shroud. Shroud, because they can't be targeted by their own abilities. And draw a card. Like, I don't understand the purpose of that at all. I don't know. Unless there's a way for us to somehow be able to play this card on our opponent's side of the board with this different card later. Other than that, I can see like no purpose for this card. It's complete and total garbage. And then the last one is Tsukiyomi the Moon City. 2-drop. Activate, pay 1 will and tap to produce some Moon Will. And you can also pay 1, put that card on the bottom of your main deck, and give something flying, and then draw a card. Pretty situational, but also the ability to have another way to produce Moon Will is pretty important for Kavya decks, so I can see that. I mean, it lets you essentially convert one type of will into Moon Will. I can see this being really important against burn decks because of the card that lets you take damage based on the number of special magic stones you have. So this is a way for you to get around that and still be able to produce Moon Will. Again, so maybe that's a side deck card, but we'll just have to see kind of what comes out of that. So yeah, that is the water part of Moon Priestess Returns, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to click around for the other parts in the annotations or down in the description. And as always, guys, this is DMO73 signing off.